Hello, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome to my channel. My name is Roxanne, and this is Alchemy of Acrimony. Thank you. If you're just joining me and you're just catching the lives that I've been putting out. If you're new to this channel or if you've been here before, welcome back, welcome all. So thank you so much for being here. This is a safe space. And so I jumped on here before, I start my day. And I really don't have an angle at where I'm going with whatever is going to happen here on the live. Excuse me. I had to have my coffee. I need a little extra pick-me-up. But I just wanted to jump on here. And so I put the title, Whatever Comes Out, because this is literally whatever comes out. I have no rhyme or reason. There is no pre-planned, okay, I'm going to try this or do that. It's tarot, oracle, whatever comes out, whatever I channel, even it's whatever maybe messages that you need to hear and Spirit's trying to send. And so I feel led because I'm looking over to my left here and I see my Sacred Messages Oracle deck. So we're going to get right to the point, okay? Instead of just rambling on and on, we're going to get right to the point and just come out with it, right? Thank you, Sacred Oracle deck. Let's see. What are the messages for my collective? Whoever joined me here, whenever time they did, because supposedly there is no such thing as time, right? Time is an illusion. So whenever they are meant, divine timing, divine. Okay. It's otherworldly timing, people. So let's see what is going on here. Let me just scoot everything off. And then I need to get one of those like rolly chairs. I'm on like one of these really hard outdoor chairs. It's like a metal one, but I need something more comfortable, something that rolls, like a little office chair. I need me a desk, definitely, for sure. This is like my outside when I barbecue. My kids come over, my son barbecues. We put the table out, and this is the table. So I already saged my space. I lit my candles. Those of you that already know, I absolutely love my candles. I was doing late night candlelight reads. That was pretty fun. I love the dark ambiance. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Hold on, quick sec, people. Let me get my glasses. Hold on, one sec. So I told myself, I'm ready. I'm completely ready to jump on here. Yeah, right. I told myself, we're going to do this. I have everything going except for my glasses. And that's something that I'm always forgetting. I need to get 2 pair and just have it here in this space where I do things. But yeah, I'm always forgetting my glasses. I don't know why that is. But anywho, I have them on now. Okay, so what is planted in your soul will sprout. Plant seeds, dedication, your work is rewarded. So I don't know if any of you guys are working on anything right now. If there's something particular, like a goal you're trying to reach, what is planted in your soul will sprout. I was talking about getting back to the things that we love in prior videos. And so I don't know, is there something that you feel you want to dedicate your time to? I kind of feel like now is more, there's no better time than now. I was talking about how precious time is and how fast it goes by and how we just don't want to waste any more time. Okay, so for my divorce collective out there, I kind of feel led to tell you, don't waste any more time. I really feel like this is a really strong message that wants to keep pushing itself out there in one way, shape, or form. If there's something that you are maybe an idea you're tossing around, you're already planting the seeds. Okay. The thing with that is we can do that with a lot of different things, right? Just like a garden, plant seeds for a lot of different things, right? But we have to take the initiative to water, to put dedication to take care of it and watch it eventually grow. And it's the same thing like with our goals, what we have in mind, what we want to manifest for ourselves, what we want to do for ourselves. But like I was saying, time is of the essence. It's very precious. Do not waste any time. So I kind of feel led to tell my collective here, whoever has an idea, a thought, something that you want to bring to fruition, do not underestimate yourself, do not doubt yourself, and don't overthink it, because all that leads. And so when we put our mindset into those things, like thinking in that direction, it's self-sabotage in the end, because time just keeps passing, but nothing is getting done. Okay, so I wanted to say pasting. That's not even a thing. But maybe I'm trying to say past. So something from your past, something that in the past maybe you wanted to do and you never got around to doing it. It could be a million things, million things. It could be taking that trip. It could be going to that class. It could be learning something new, even. There's so many things out there that you can learn, whatever sparks your interest. It could be, I don't know, getting somewhere. I don't know, finding, maybe you have a particular, maybe a place in mind that you've been wanting to go. Maybe make it a goal to save money. Maybe this is a trip on the other side of the world. Who knows? A different continent. Who knows? Asia. I'm getting Asia. Japan, right? Bali, Greece, Ireland, Africa. There's so many places and things that we can do on this planet. And time is of the essence, people. Do not waste any time procrastinating, overthinking it. Don't self-sabotage. I kind of feel like this card is saying, plant seeds, dedication, your work is rewarded. And so whatever we dedicate ourselves to, even when it comes to our everyday, right? Our mundane, our life in general, the things that we invest time in, the things that we work hard at, like even work. A lot of us have your 9 to 5 jobs. We go to work, we dedicate, we invest time. Eventually we get raises, eventually we get more benefits, eventually we get the perks of maybe more vacation time the longer we're there. I don't know, it's different for everybody. But what I'm saying is, when you put dedication into anything, you know uh eventually whatever you put out, it's going to grow. Okay, in that area of whatever it is that you're dedicating yourself to, your time, your money, and that's really important too, to watch where you're dedicating a lot of your time and money. Okay, your finances and your time, because both, it's like your time, you can never get that back. And whatever, depending on where you're putting your money, if you're not investing it correctly, they say we can never get that back, right? So if we're not taking our money and putting it into things that are going to give us a return, or we're just wasting it away on this, that, or the other, things that are not actually necessities, then it's not really beneficial, right? So whatever it is that you're doing with these things, just look at these things as really valuable commodities. They're very important to us. We have to sit and look at, okay, what are we doing with our time? Where is it going? What energy am I putting out there and investing my time into? And even the people that you're around. Okay, it's very important. They say if you want to be real successful, surround yourself with really successful people. There's a lot of different ways and things to look at and go about this card. Okay, so this can mean a lot of different things for a lot of you out there. Okay, and so I'm drawn to read an angel whisper card. So these are just like a little small set of angel number cards. Okay, a lot of us see these numbers and can identify with them. Some of us have specific numbers that really resonate and call to us in our lives. And some of us are just, maybe some of you are barely getting around to understanding what this is. So if you're not familiar with it, you can go ahead and look it up. Take a number, and you can even AI it, ask Google or whatever, your chat, what that number means spiritually. What is that angel number? Because a lot of these numbers have a lot of different meanings, okay? So we're going to see if it pairs it up with something that is here, or if it wants to talk to you about something else, okay? What do you have for us? 333. So I don't know if some of you guys have been seeing 333. I know sometimes I go through a phase where I see that a lot. 333 on the clock, 333 on your receipt, or even when you're pumping gas. I've had that happen to me before, and that was pretty crazy. So 333 potential. Okay, so it says your chance to reach your highest of potentials is here. Perseverance. All right, we're gonna put that with dedication and perseverance. That's like just the will and the strength to keep on going. Okay, we persevere. So right here it says perseverance has gotten you to where you are. Okay, you have been through so much, and this guidance is here to show you that you are exactly where you need to be. Affirmation: my potential is infinite. I use my strength as my ally to pursue my highest good. Okay, strength, dedication. So you have the potential to grow whatever this card is right here, whatever that is for you. Okay, putting dedication, perseverance. Okay, and the outcome will be significant. It will be probably more than what you thought. A lot of times when we try to manifest something into our lives, or we want to bring in something good or reach a goal, when we do reach that goal, we find that it's either not what it looked like for us in the beginning, because maybe it just turned out super different, but in a good way. Like, I started this, but my end goal ended up this, but even better. And I know that's happened to me in my life, where you think a certain way, and then there's always that hidden subconscious part that causes us to have blocks, right? Because that's the part of us when we're a child, and then we grow up and the world takes away the thought that we can. And that's exactly why we have a lot of blockages in our life. That's what I believe. I believe that we have a lot of blockages in our life because of just the world in general. As we grow up, the potential, the dedication, the perseverance to do something, that withers away, because the world chips at it over time through the all the negative, okay? And the pessimistic, and just the bad, tumultuous, terrible, traumatic experiences that we can have here on this earth. And that ranges very differently from person to person. Okay, and depending how severe, traumatic, you may have had things happen for you in life, and I'm talking about as a child. That's when things start to get chipped away at all these great things that we were born and meant to do with ourselves. And we start to get it locked away in our minds, that that's why we start to do things in a low vibration. We're not vibrating our highest frequency, in which, when that happens, that's when we can attract abundance into our lives in many ways, shapes, and forms. Abundance just doesn't mean about finances. It could be about a lot of different things. Okay, so as from a child, and then growing up into our toddlers, then children, teen, preteen, adult, teen, adult, and then into our 20s and 30s and so on, we can experience a lot of negativity along the way. And some of us, unfortunately, have a lot of trauma from childhood, and so when that stays with us throughout our lives, we're very unaware of the amount of negativity and self-sabotage mindset that we have in our minds, that we our lives can suffer from it, because we're not allowing ourselves to take ourselves to our highest potential and reaching the goals that we have. And I know, as kids, for a lot of us, I'm pretty sure there was a time where we had a something in mind to be or want to do, or we always looked at stuff as, um through childlike eyes. And when you think about that, that's having no fear. When you look at a child and they're about to do something really crazy, and then you're like, no, don't do that, because you could see like, oh my gosh, a terrible outcome. If they jump off that, XYZ could happen. But in their eyes, they have no fear. In their eyes, they think they can fly. In their eyes, they see it as, I'll be fine after I do it. I'll get through the jump and then land on my feet, and it's going to be great. Right? So in their minds, they can be already little superheroes, right? With superpowers. But as an adult, you're no, 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 and you're pumping the brakes, right? And so that's kind of like a metaphor for the way the world works around us. They pump those brakes on us whenever we say, maybe express there's something that we wanted to do, and someone said, yeah, you're crazy. You can't do that. Are you kidding me? Have you seen the gas prices? Are you kidding me? Have you seen the housing prices? Are you kidding me? Have you seen on the news XYZ, XYZ? I mean, the filtration of how do you say, pessimism and negative mindsets is crazy. More times than not, you're going to get someone around you to tell you something like that, and shut that goal down, shut that thought down. And it's like right at a time when you're starting to feel kind of excited about it, because you're like, you know what, I think I want to do this for myself. But then there's always somebody to come along and be a Debbie Downer or a negative Nancy, right? So it's Debbie and Nancy. If anybody has those names, it's not a personal thing. It's just a saying. Okay, so I'm pretty sure majority of us have heard those sayings. Don't be a Debbie Downer. Don't be a negative Nancy. It's just saying, don't be pessimistic. Don't be so negative. Don't, people can take dreams and kill them. They could smash them. They could step on them right in front of you, and then there goes that. And then and it leaves you feeling heartbroken in a way, almost a little sad, like, wow, okay. And I've had that happen to me so many times in life, even by family members. Okay. I'm not going to specify which ones, but I've had family members tell me, why you're not going to achieve this or achieve that, or why that's too expensive. You're just going to end up in debt, or why that doesn't make sense, or why I don't really, you're going to do that. Oh, I heard people don't make money off that. I heard people like, and it's not just from family. I'm talking just people all around you in your everyday life that are, whether they're in your life for a season for whatever reason, or if they're actual family members, actual friends, it doesn't matter. At some point in time, I know we've ran into people that have um kind of like, it's almost like I got this image in my head of a little kid with a bunch of balloons, right? And they're excited for these balloons, and that little kid, metaphorically speaking, is us. And so we walk into a room with it, and each little balloon is filled with hopes and dreams. And then when we share it, someone in that room stands up and pops a few of those. And then someone else says something else negative or pessimistic and pops a few more, and then a few more. And before you know it, you're standing there with just strings and uh, deflated, popped balloons all over the floor. And it's kind of like what they leave you feeling drained, for the most part, emotionally. in a, and that's bad, and so, whatever it is that you planted that you want to grow for yourself. And this, like I said, it's a lot of different things for a lot of different people. But I kind of feel in this read, I'm channeling a lot. Okay, I kind of feel like I'm led to tell somebody out there, go for it. Okay. Don't waste time. Start looking into what you need to do. Don't ask questions, don't overthink. And when I say ask questions, I'm talking, I mean, of course, you want to do like some research into further into what you're going to do, but don't let them bombard you so much so where you start asking questions of, yeah, but how can I get the money for that? Or how can I do? Just start to take the first initial steps, okay? Like they call it baby steps. That's what I did. Okay, so fun fact, if you guys want to know a little bit more about me, because why not, right? That's what this whole thing is, like, to help other people, especially too with personal stories, because it's just more meaning and more depth to somebody that, when you hear inspirational things that, yes, I've tried that and that's worked for me and I'm living proof. And it just gives us, it leaves us with a sense of more confidence, right? And so from me to you, I'm letting you guys know that it is possible. Okay. It is possible. Um, I was talking about in prior videos, so I don't know if you want to go through my other videos. I think it was on the, you know what? I forgot what video it was, but I don't have a lot. I think I only have like 9 videos up, but for the most part, I did talk about and mention how in my first experiences with, going through the motions of divorce and how I would lay in my room and, I was just so depressed. But then I started to put these pictures, right, of this magazine up on my wall, and they were inspirational for me, right? And they were pictures, they were photographs of different places in the world, and they were really beautiful. And so when I would look at that, I started to tell myself, eventually a thought popped into my head, like, you know what, one day I want to go to these places, because I started looking at it as escape and a getaway to get out of the mindset of just being looking at a staring at a blank wall, a cold room, feeling depressed. And that made me feel more. So I said, you know what, why not open up my eyes to something really pretty to look at? And then that led to something else and something else and something else. And so fast forward, the point of the story is, I took those baby steps to do something to uh better myself. Okay. And I didn't really understand it at the moment, but little did I know I was manifesting. I was manifesting, okay? I was dedicating myself to opening up my eyes and looking at those beautiful portraits on the wall and instilling a mindset, not a negative one, not a pessimistic one, not a I'll never be able to one. And of course that, sometimes it does cross your mind. Well, a lot of times it does. Like, there's no way. But then I thought, you know what? There's one day there will be a way. One day there will be a way. And if you can just flip the switch on your mind, think of it as a tuner, okay, or a channel. You're changing the channel in your mind instead of saying, leaving it on the channel that's negative and saying, I don't think I can ever do that or go there. Sw- Switch it. Switch the channel real quick and just tell yourself, one day I can and I will. And so looking at these pictures, fast forward, I couldn't wait for the magazine to come, right? And so I started keeping a little journal. And it was like a, I don't know, I guess you could say it was like a dream board or a wish board or whatever you want to call it. But see, I didn't even know what that was. I didn't even know it was a thing back then. So I started to put it in a journal, and I bought myself, actually it was like an art book, because I like to draw and I also like to write, but I was keeping a bunch of different things in there. And so I started taking some of those pages from the magazines and those pictures and posting them inside my journal and putting, like, maybe like a little quote or a little, just something for me personal, right? And so from time to time, as I was making this journal over time, I started uh, I would go back sometimes just to reflect on all these things that I'm putting out there, right? And eventually, one day, fast forward years later, I don't even know how much longer later, to tell you the truth. Uh, I didn't even realize it when it was happening. But I ended up going somewhere in Vegas, and when I seen the picture in the magazine of this specific place, I thought it was, like, awesome, right? And then I researched it on the internet to see what all is in there and what that's about. And then it looked more appealing to me, and I was like, this is cool. I definitely wanna, one day make it there. And so, excuse me, fast forward, I ended up there with a friend at the time and family, and I didn't realize it. I don't know why. I don't know how I didn't see that was going on. I don't know if I forgot that I had put that in my book, but either way, fast forward, I'm like flipping through my book, and this was after, right? And so I realized, like, holy shit. I This happened for me. This literally happened for me. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, I had put pictures of cruises, boats, okay? I've never been on one. Fast forward another year, 2 years later, where was I? Going to Ensenada on a cruise ship with one of my most favorite people on the planet, okay? And so it was fun, and it was something that, I was being, at the time when the tickets had came out, my favorite person told me, she was like, she told me, now or never, now or never. And she's really good with, like, pushing me past the, don't self-sabotage this, let's just do it, let's just do it. And so the overthinking and the self-sabotage, I'm telling you not to be like that, because I can be like that. And when she points it out to me, it is a form of self-sabotage. Like, you can look into the details, but if you see, like, there was a steal going on for that cruise. When I'm saying steal, I'm not meaning still. I mean, like, a deal, a discount, and because the tickets went up so dang early, it was a good price. And so we looked into the packages, and she's traveled a lot. So, like I said, if you could get people around you that are gonna figure things out for you, let them. If they want to, let them. If you're not familiar with a lot of things, but they are, let them. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it, because I have problems with doing that. But see, the more that I'm experiencing life and the way it should be for us, when we don't do that to ourselves, we have a lot of potential to achieve our goals. We have to just stop being in that mindset, right? And so fast forward, there I go on my cruise, and I had a blast, okay? A blast. I had the time of my life. We we had a lot of fun, a lot of fun. And so I'm not gonna lie, we found it ironic that when we went, we were going to, okay, we're single, ready to mingle, okay? Not in a negative light, okay? We weren't making, terrible decisions or nothing. We were going because literally we're both single and we were ready to fucking get ourselves out there, like, hey, let's see who we can meet. And so the funny part, we get there and everyone's shacked up. Everyone's paired up. Almost everywhere we look, there's a couple, a couple, a couple. And I'm like, this shit is funny. But we still had a blast, because why? Who was single? The security guards. Security guards, not the people on the boat. We were mingling with the security guards that were there to guide the bands and protect the bands that were playing there. And so we had a blast. That was so unexpected. And see, that's the things in life where you don't think, okay? You don't think. And where you can have a goal, and then that goal turns out way more better than the original thing you had in your brain, right? I never thought in a million years that I'm gonna go and so I can mingle with security guards. I didn't think that at all. And we actually had a good time with some of those couples. We had a really good time. We actually met some couples and they were really awesome, made us laugh. I mean, we had a great time with a lot of different people. And the initial thought when we got there was, wow, there's a lot of couples here. I don't think we're gonna meet anybody. But you know what? Not true at all. Not true at all. And you know what? If somebody else would have said, "Oh, don't go on that cruise. You're not if you're going to meet people, you're not because that's nothing but couples." And somebody could have said that. And and a lot of times there's people that, always want to offset or, hate or put a little, wrench in your wheels. So and when you take that stuff into consideration, you can self-sabotage if you take that one little thing someone says and overthink it and then start to reevaluate your little goal or, what you want to do. And it's like, pop that balloon before you know it, you're not thinking about it no more. You're like, never mind. And so, but no, because if I would have believed that, if somebody would have told me that, I would have missed out on a really fucking good time. And so, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the whole time we were there from the morning till the night was go time. We were in party mode, not in a negative way. We weren't trying to like jump off the boat and, we were actually being really safe. If I seen that, she was off wanting to go to the bathroom, we never parted from each other. I never took my eyes off her and vice versa. She never took her eyes off me. We stayed away from the going anywhere where it was too at night, when you're out there in the middle of the ocean. It's beautiful watching the ship go, but you don't want to be too close to the side railing, especially if you've had alcohol. So, I mean, but for the most part, I mean, all of us, who doesn't like to have a party, a celebration, a good time, and so mind you, my favorite person that I'm talking about, she's my sister-in-law, but I call her my sister. Okay. And so we were married. Fun fact. So let me just give you a little more of a tidbit to my story. So fun fact, we were married to the brothers. Okay. We became ex-wives to the brothers. Hence, that's how we were sister-in-laws. And so we formed a relationship over, oh man, I think I met her back in 2003. And we have been together ever since. Our relationship has been more like actual sisters than sister-in-laws because we've had a lot of fights. We've had a lot of ups and downs. We've even had times where there's these gaps of not speaking, getting mad at each other. Um, but in my eyes, I see that as it's because we're just that close. We could fight like sisters. And so she started going through her split while we weren't talking, mind you, because my split, it tore a lot of the family apart. And so when that was going on, there was things happening and then family just started to take sides, right? Everybody started to pick their side. Now she was still involved and still married, okay, to his brother. So she was doing her thing. And at the time when I was going through my heartache, we weren't talking. And that was due to other things that were happening in the family that had nothing to do with my divorce. But it just so happened that as when that year when he actually got his things and he left, um, well, so did his brother. His brother did the same thing to her. And so he got his things and he actually stayed and she's the one that had to leave. And that one day I kind of, there's a part of me that I want to bring the stories out because it will make for a more interesting story, of course. But the fact that this shit's real and it really does happen. And when it happens, it's a fucking shit show because me and my sister were walking shit shows and not in a good way. me and her commiserated on the phone a lot. Um, we were being um, we were being toxically attached more than just sister-in-laws and friendships and the that whole thing. We became toxically attached to each other where we just over and over every day talking about the things that made us more depressed and more depressed. But it's like we only had though each other at the time to really hold on to that understood what we were talking about, saying, and feeling. Okay. And so, our toxic attachment for a while was, yeah, it was a little toxic, constantly, talking but we, it, but at the same time, we held on to each other in that manner that we felt the need to do that because there was no one else to really do that with. And so we each became each other's therapists. And sometimes we still are. And so our dynamics, our relationship is very fascinating. I think it's one of a kind and it's a really great story to tell. And so I'll tell more of that maybe on at another time. But, you know, um all in all, talking about, your goals and growing. Now, she's somebody that brings that out in me that, she sheds a lot of light in my dark when I need it, and vice versa. I shed light in her dark when she needs it. And so, when it comes to goals and doing things and wanting to go out there for ourselves and try something different and new, um, don't overthink it and don't talk yourself out of it. And if you do have somebody around you that is true blue to you and you know that and they're positive and they want you to be a little bit more vulnerable about doing things, go for it. Go for it, go for it, go for it. I'm actually right now trying to save up for another goal, a different goal. And so along the way, I have been to different places that, I've actually stuck in my journal book. I've already accomplished a couple of things on there. And so little by little, I'm building myself up for the big things. And so those things, I'm not telling myself anymore that I can't. I'm just doing what I got to do and taking the baby steps to get there because I know one day I am going to get there. And when I'm there, I'm going to fucking take pictures and just savor the moment and just absolutely, uh, you know, love the time and the fact that I'm still here on earth to enjoy that time, to see these things and to accomplish these things because it's no greater feeling to accomplish these things on your own, and so because this is a divorce collective and I'm talking to people that are going through, if I am talking about people that have went through a divorce and you no longer have your significant other in the picture and you're split or whatever you call it. Um I have been told, so I don't know if this is going to resonate with anybody. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But either way, just to share with you, I know, like I said, along the way, people can take your dreams and really deflate them. They could really like, kind of make you feel bad, for wanting to do different things, and so, excuse me, when that happens, you lose track, you lose sight of what the main thing is, and it's you. And I'm not saying it in a conceited way. I'm not saying that in a to be conceited or narcissistic. I'm not saying that at all. And narcissist is a really strong word anyway, but I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying the main priority is us. We got to do for ourselves, okay? Yes, we do for our children if you have children and whatever. But I mean, if you, like me, invested your time, into your family and put everything you had and then it didn't work and, you do everything for your kids, yes, you're always going to do for them, right? Always going to do for them. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about putting yourself in a mindset to create those goals, right? Plant those seeds for you. It's okay to do that, okay? The potential here, this doesn't say the potential for me and so and so or me, and this is your potential just for you. Okay. What is that? What are we trying to reach? When we look at our highest good and we look at the good out there in the world and the goals that we can put out there for ourselves, what is it that we're trying to reach, we're trying to do? And we can't let other people, regardless of their opinions, steal that from us. Okay, because these are things that are important to us. They speak to us and they resonate with our soul and our spirit. Okay, and there is only one you. There is not two of you, there is only one of you. Okay, and so you have to remind yourself, when you're thinking about, okay, what do I want to do now for me? Don't feel guilty, don't feel bad. Just take that mindset and keep it positive. Don't let people take from it along the way, and start really making those goals and planting those seeds and taking baby steps, because anything is possible, okay? Especially if you put some dedication and take those baby steps towards it. You know, when I made that trip possible to go on my cruise, I of course, I had to make payments towards that. And so I dedicated myself to part of my paycheck making sure that I had for that, because that was a really big, once I got that baby step, that wheel turning in that first step, there was no going back from there. And see, and sometimes that's the push that we need, just to take that first initial step. And so I made sure my hard work at work, my dedication, my time that I put into that was really because it was going to go into that, my trip, my goal, what I wanted to do for myself, and that paid off. And I did that for a year. Okay. I set aside some money and I made sure that I made a payment towards that. And every day in my mind, I just looked at it as, I'm putting my finances, right? It's going back to that, what you're putting and investing in. But this is going to pay off in the long run for me, because this is a goal of mine. I'm not just throwing this away. This is probably stuff that I probably could have just, threw my money away with whatever else. But instead, I put it towards a goal of mine. And so, yeah, within a year's time, before you know it, I got that email, hey, welcome to, whatever cruise liner, and this is the time you leave and this is what's going on. And it was like dream come true. It was like, whoa, this is really happening. I'm leaving in a month. This is really happening. And so it gives you more momentum to keep, going and going. And so with that, you just, every time you accomplish something, you fuel yourself up with the correct mindset. You align yourself back up with that childhood way of thinking that you can do anything. There is no fear in doing that and setting that goal. Okay. It's all about that childlike mentality and bringing it back to that before the world stripped it away with all the bullshit. Okay, so we are gonna go with something else. Let's try the tarot. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay, and I'm gonna roll with this. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm probably gonna channel. Because I don't really know how many cards are gonna pop out of here. Um, I'm hoping for just the one that wanted to jump. What do we have? What else do we have for the collective? What else do you have to say and share? Oh, that wanted to pop out. So we got some jumpers. Ooh! We do got some jumpers, guys, and they're beautiful. 1111. I already told you guys about 1111 and what that means for me. 111, 11, 11, 11. That's my 1111 card right here. That's stability. That's also celebration. Do you see the people in the middle? They're celebrating a milestone. That's what I want to say. Okay, so the cards that jumped out were the Four of Wands and the Six of Swords, and that's beautiful energy. There I go, getting confused with the camera. Okay, so this talks about traveling. Okay, this could talk about travels, going towards something, working towards whatever this is for you. What's your goal, celebration, your life celebration? What are you looking to celebrate one day? Where? See, I see the rooftop in the back. Almost looks like a castle, right? Where is that planned vacation? What is it that you want to do? What does your 11/11 look like? What does your celebration look like for you? Take the baby steps to go towards that goal, okay? With the 6 of swords, movement, that's movement, going towards something, traveling towards something, getting towards something. Whether this is going somewhere or whether it's you taking the initiative to get in that boat and start the momentum of going. Okay, this could be the baby steps. This could be actual travel. Take it how it resonates. 2 cards, beautifully aligned with what I'm talking about. Can't make this up, people. So somebody needs to hear this today, okay? Don't let people, I don't know, maybe if you've been talking about something with somebody or people around you sharing your ideas, goals. Okay, so I feel led to tell you right off the bat, be careful who you share what with and what you like as far as goals and the things that you want to do. Be careful who you share what with. Like saying uh down to the specifics. You don't have to do that. You don't have to give everybody, you know, especially if you know they're already pretty pessimistic or negative. And especially more so just to protect your mind, okay, and your heart. Protect what goes in there. Okay? Don't let people rob you of your joy. Ooh. Okay, so wait. This is crazy. When I said rob, the word rob, maybe, okay. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Okay. So, how this is all going to tie in, I'm led and guided to share this with somebody out there. Somebody really needs to hear this. When I said rob, don't let somebody rob you of your joy. Last night, no joke, I was at work and uh 2 people were about to break into my vehicle. They were about to rob, steal, whatever word you want to use, my vehicle. And this just happened last night. And my angels, God, the Most High, my protectors, my spirit guides, angels, ancestors, well, they protect me all right, and they're all around me because literally, right when the second person came up to my van, okay, and they were looking in my windows. So right when they came up to my vehicle and started looking in my windows, there was a second one that popped up. And as soon as they were both like, I don't know if they were getting ready to break my window or what, but or pop my handle on my car or do whatever they're gonna do, security rolled up. Security rolled up and caught them in the act. And they both looked like a deer in headlights, according to that security guard. And so the security guard ran inside the facility that I was working in to let me know because I see the security guard nightly, almost every night. And so they're already familiar with who I am. And so they found me and said, did you bring somebody to work with you? I said, absolutely not. I said, is it my vehicle? And I dropped what I had in my hand and I ran outside. And they followed me and I just seen 2 people running down the street. Okay, so uh I'm telling you this because as soon as this all happened, and I told her, thank you so much. You're a big that was all divine timing. I really believe that. It wasn't just a oh by chance or coincidence. No, I was protected. I was protected. Everything that, is around me, my children, my possessions, my things, I'm protected. And so when I'm talking about protecting your mind, protecting your heart, putting that hedge, that spirit of protection around yourself, because in your beautiful mind you have things that you want to manifest for yourself. You have goals, you have hopes, you have dreams. Do not let people steal or rob your goals, hopes, dreams. Don't let anybody steal your joy, because that's your joy. That stuff can keep us sane, I guess you could say, when we're going through a lot of turmoil. When that's all we have to hold on to, that's the stuff that keeps us going. That's the stuff that can keep us, you know, holding on and having a little bit of strength when we feel we have none, and giving us a little bit of hope, right? That's our happiness to attain some of our goals and to hold on to our dreams and achieve them. It fills us up with a lot of joy, a lot of happiness. But that's the way we're meant and we're supposed to live life. We just don't, because the world can rob us of so many things. And so when this happened to me last night, I fast forward, uh I asked my guides and I asked spirit, and I had a time last night, and I prayed and I thought about things, and I said, I feel like, you know, I should talk about that. But the concept and how I was going to bring it about, I felt led that I wanted to, but I didn't know why. And now I know why, because initially I wasn't going to talk about that. It was a kind of a whatever came out, but I didn't have that in my head at all to even bring that up. But it's kind of all tying together when I'm telling you to protect your mind, your heart. Don't let anybody rob you or steal you of your joy. And the first thing that spirit gave me, my download, was your car, your vehicle. It's like a metaphor. And so how the world just sneaks up, and they love to pop up, and just right when you're in a good space and everything is good, and then boom. It's like the world wants to throw a wrench in your happiness or in your joy, right? And that would have been a huge one for me, because that's my only way, my only vehicle to get to work and just to live and do things. And that would have been very detrimental to me if that would have happened. And it would have been, I don't even want to go there with that. But the point is, that's how fast the world can come in and just take you away from, what you're supposed to do and you're meant to do, and take you away from the good. And so sometimes we can be, when we have the negative mindset, we can even be our own self-sabotage. And so going back to being careful what you tell people, if you know somebody is a constant downer or negative, don't share those things with that person or those specific people. And if it's something really big, and like, you just, this this is something that maybe you already know, it's out of the box for a lot of people that you talk to, or that you don't have to tell anybody anything. You just go about your business and create and design your goals in your life the way you see fit. And you don't have to share shit with anybody. You don't have to tell anybody nothing. You owe nobody an explanation. You owe nobody nothing. You owe nobody no, you don't have to talk and explain your life away about why you want to do something, because I know sometimes we feel led to do that to people, especially if they look at us sideways. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Why do you want to do that? Like, then you feel led to explain it away so much that you explain the fucking goal away. Now you just feel like, never mind. I don't, maybe not. Maybe that was left field. And then you second guess yourself, and then there goes your dream. There goes another pop balloon, right? And so that is crazy, because that just all is in unison, right? That's beautiful. That's very melodic. It's a symphony of good news to the soul, to the spirit, to your ears, for your mind, and really put it in your mind, okay? Put it in your mind and run with it, and don't let anybody steal it from you. Don't let anybody take it from you because it's yours. Whatever you set out there, whatever is for you, it will come to you, okay? What does this say? Plant seeds, dedication, your work will be rewarded. And there's work in everything we do, even into creating our goals, whatever that may be. Okay. And there's potential behind it. You have the potential to manifest anything for your highest good, to promote your highest, greatest self. You have the potential. Okay. And so I'm feeling the energy. I'm really feeling the energy, and I really feel excited. So I really hope that somebody could take something away from this message and really just run with it themselves and go forward into doing their goal or achieving their dream or taking those first steps. Maybe if you were thinking about something, I don't know if somebody's been thinking about something, you've had something on your mind, and this is a confirmation. This is confirmation to go for it. Ooh, these cards came out before. This is a lot of cards. And some of these came out before. What was I just saying? Over explaining everything. When someone tells you something and you feel the need to over explain because you're sharing, your great idea, and then they're giving you anxiety in the process because they're looking at you funny, and it gets uncomfortable, and then it's just awkward after that. So you feel you need to explain your life away. I was just saying that, and look at the card that popped out. Over explaining everything. And they make you feel insecure, right? They make you feel like something is wrong with you because you have this idea, but it's nothing wrong with you, honey. Okay. Anxiety, insecurity, rambling. Don't do that. Okay. This is why it's just best to roll with our own soul and just, do what we need to do for ourselves. We don't need to over explain. We don't owe anybody an explanation. Your soul left the meeting, disconnection, dread. Maybe some of you feel like this is your mundane and this is your everyday, where it's like you're present at your meetings and you're there, but your soul is like, just like the picture. Your soul left the meeting. You're on autopilot at that point. And I think a lot of us can relate to this. So if you are, maybe this is, I don't know, tying into what we're talking about here and saying, go for that goal because it's going to get you out of this mindset. Vanished while meditating. Mind fog, awareness collapse. I know I talked about this, how, it's very hard to get concentration and focus if you're new at it. Meditation actually takes practice. You can't just, there are some people that can't just, and I'm one of those. I can't just. Like in the beginning, it was very hard for me. I'm barely starting to learn how to do this, but it's still hard. Okay, so maybe I'm getting a lot of downloads and thoughts. Like your brain is spinning on a wheel, and maybe you feel like that, a lot of you, where you just can't get no rest and you want to put your mind at ease. Some of you guys look into different ways of releasing this. You can even, if some of you are into fitness, try yoga. Or you could try, like I said, going back to the ASMR thing, or there's different outlets. You don't always have to meditate. Mercury did it. Miscommunication, cosmic excuse, retrograde blame. We are, I think, going into a retrograde or about to. I'm not sure. You might want to research that. So for some of you, this could be affecting you. And I keep hearing about this. And Mercury retrograde is pretty crazy because it could bring a lot of old things back into our lives, whether that be people, places, or things. It doesn't just have to be relationships, but maybe for some of you, this is a kind of like a little, not a bad warning, but just a call to be aware. Try not to walk around on autopilot because there could be something coming back around to you that wasn't so great the first time. And so it's a reminder to learn the lesson the first time and don't do it again. Okay? Don't do it again, because God knows how many times I have, and all that's done for me was absolutely nothing but give me more heartache. Sure sounds great. Said yes when you meant hell no. This was one of the cards that came out on one of my other previous reads. And it's about saying no when you really want to say it and be true to yourself, you know? And maybe this is also saying too, if someone is telling you, like if you're trying to share your goal with somebody and then they think they have a better idea than that and they try to talk you into something else, don't go with it. If that's not your goal, your dream, your outlook, your perspective on stuff, don't go with it. You don't have to agree with shit. Just be like, "Oh, that's cool for you, but that's not my vision." It's okay to say that. And if somebody's going to take it way up the ass too fast, then maybe you should rethink about just sharing anything with them in general. Or yeah, because if people can't handle that, then that's a red flag, you know. Too many dings, not enough peace. This also came out with the said yes when you meant to say hell no. So too many dings, not enough peace. A lot of shit going on when it comes to the internet. Maybe it's just too much overload, causing your brain to be on overload. Maybe it's causing you to, like the other card, your soul left. Your soul checked out at the meeting. Yeah, your soul left the meeting. Maybe because it is too much tech overload. It's kind of just autopilot. Yeah, so those that wanted to to bring itself up again. So that's important. I guess somebody really needs to hear that. And I think it's just so beautiful that you have the 1111 here, when you have the Four of Wands and the Six of Swords. So somebody's got something really great coming to them. A lot of potential, highest good, your goals, whatever you see, however that fits for you and however that resonates. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. And I hope this message just gave you more insight and pushed you further to do that first baby step, right? To accomplish that for yourself, whatever that looks like for you, however this is resonating for you. And that's awesome. I love that. I love good things for people, and I love when people have good news. Okay? And be very mindful too of the way, you know, cuz I know there are some people out there that are not very happy of your goals and accomplishing them, and when you achieve something great or just anything good happening to you in your life. And that can be that's not good, you know. So just be mindful of your own mindset too, and how you feel about people that actually achieve things. Are you happy for them, or how does that make you feel? Because if you're the type of person that gets jealous, or you know, or starts to look at yourself in a bad way, like, how come I can't do that? Like, you know, try not to put your mindset in that direction, because that can be a bad outcome for you. And it can be hard for you to manifest things in your own life if you're hating on somebody else, or being jealous, or even looking at yourself like something's wrong with you just because you're not where they're at or haven't achieved what they did. Everybody's life is different. And that's one thing that I've learned. There is no room for jealousy. You can't be, because everybody's life and path and their goals and what's happening for them, everybody's got their own destiny, their own stuff, you know, regardless of if they're creating their life for their highest good or not. Doesn't matter. Whatever is happening for them that's fine. But for you, you got to know that good things are going to come for you, right? But those good things, they look different for everybody. So it may not be what he or she has versus what, you know, maybe you thought about, you wanted that, and why hasn't it happened? Because maybe there's just things that are not for us at a certain time, right? It's all about divine timing. And it's all about, you know, just a different path. Everybody's on a different path. And so it says, take some time to rest and rejuvenate. Okay. Rest and rejuvenate. You need to pace yourself for the changes that are coming your way. They are all positive. Bigger and better things are coming for you. Just relax and trust. Okay. And that's what this card is saying. Right here, my potential is infinite. I use my strength as my ally to pursue my highest good. It says that perseverance, it says your chance to reach your highest of potentials is here. Perseverance has gotten you where you are. You've been through so much, and this guidance is here to show you that you are exactly where you need to be. Okay. Your potential is infinite. So when it's saying to take time and rest and rejuvenate, it's because sometimes we can get overload from just the world and the ugly in it. And so our minds could get boggled down by the weight of that, right? And so we're not really in a great mindset to accept messages like this, okay? So it's saying to go ahead and just slow down, take some time for yourself, rest, rejuvenate, reset your brain, okay? Reset your mind, because you got to trust these things. Bigger and better things are coming for you, okay? They're coming. It's right here. It's all right here in the cards. I can't make this up. You see me shuffle on camera. It's all here. Okay? Bigger, better things. Now, the thing with affirmations is about adjusting and tuning our minds to line up with these affirmations, because they're no good to us if we're not really mentally aligning ourselves with what we're saying. So we really have to tell ourselves, we have to switch the channel, like I was saying, and get in alignment with all the good things, okay, that are coming for you. But you have to reset your brain and your mind to believe it, to be open to receive it and trust that it's coming for you. You have to get your mind, your soul, your spirit, your body, everything has to align with these things that you want for yourself. Okay. And so more and more doors will start to open for you. You're going to see things manifest for your highest good. You're going to see your goals come to fruition. You're going to see your seeds grow. Okay. So just, that was actually really good. That was, I didn't know what was happening or where I was going with any of this. That's why I chose the whatever comes out. And so that's what came out. And so I really do believe this was all divinely led and guided for me to say, to share with you, because this is something that my collective needed to hear. And so I really hope that helped you in some type of way. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all that are about to hear this message. And I'm glad that you can hear it. And so like, share, comment, subscribe. Feel free to let me know any of your goals in the comment section. Like if you want, you don't have to. Like I said, sharing it maybe right off the bat with everybody, maybe not. That's only if you feel led to. But then again, too, nobody knows who nobody is when you have this specific little, you know, when you on people's profiles, a lot of the times you're not really knowing who that exact person is. So if you don't have a picture of yourself, but you do want to share, you know, that's fine if you feel led to. If not, go ahead and just keep to yourself, put it in your heart, lock it away in your mind, and like this video so you can align more with me and the mindset of positivity, because I'm right there with you, sending you prayers and lots of positivity. I'm sending you and wishing you all the best towards your goals. Thank you so much for seeing this whenever you did. And until next time, I hope you can join me again. Thank you so much. Catch you later. Everybody have a great day or night wherever you're at in the world. Bye.